And today I wanted to show you how the non-essential amino acid L-Citrulline, which is found so abundantly in watermelon, supports muscle vitality. Muscle wasting results from a chronic imbalance between rates of muscle protein synthesis, which is how the body converts dietary protein into muscle, and muscle breakdown, in which the rate of degradation exceeds synthesis. L-Citrulline is well known for converting to a much more qualitative, longer-lasting form of the amino acid L-Arginine, and unlike supplemental and dietary L-Arginine, L-Citrulline is not metabolized in the gut or taken up by the liver. The majority of L-Citrulline is actually converted to L-Arginine in the kidneys, and this is very appropriate when you recall how cleansing and supportive watermelon, which is the richest food source of citrulline, is to the kidneys. Citrulline is effective at restoring muscle stores of L-Arginine and also reducing muscle breakdown in cases of L-Arginine deficiency and or low intake of dietary protein. And this is especially important for significantly older people. L-Arginine, as I've told you before, is 1/3 of the amino acid trifecta, along with glycine and methionine, that creates endogenous creatine, which, as we all know, is critical for maintaining muscle vitality. Also, arginine is a primary building block behind the body's production of nitric oxide, so sufficient and even ample abundant L-Arginine is necessary for maintaining skeletal muscle, and L-Citrulline helps to ensure this. The role of nitric oxide in skeletal muscle homeostasis is diverse, as it contributes to both muscle regeneration and expansion. Citrulline, for its part, protects muscle cells and reduces overall muscle cell wasting through its preservation of protein synthesis. Additionally, L-Citrulline increases the expression of inducible nitric oxide synthase, or IONS, and the antioxidant enzymes superoxide dismutase and catalase, while also reducing the oxidative stress-induced wasting of muscle fibers. A large instigator of this muscle fiber wasting is excess hydrogen peroxide, which is a byproduct of protein digestion, and citrulline's increase of catalase, which splits hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen, is the driving force behind this. Along with a reduction in protein synthesis, another reason for the age-related loss of muscle tissue is an increase in a problematic protein called atrogen-1 that contributes considerably to muscle atrophy. The infamous cytokine tumor necrosis factor alpha can stimulate atrogen-1 activity, and also that of inducible nitric oxide synthase, both in skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle. And inducible nitric oxide synthase contributes to both muscle regeneration and repair. So this is a good example of how tumor necrosis factor alpha can be both beneficial and harmful, depending on existing inflammation. Increased production of reactive oxygen species is a hallmark of many muscle-wasting conditions, and can damage lipids, proteins, and DNA, while activating catabolism and inhibiting protein synthesis in skeletal muscle. Citrulline can prevent this steep decline in protein synthesis, even for significantly older people. And one way citrulline accomplishes this is by directly stimulating muscle protein synthesis in muscle fibers. Even in those that don't express the two metabolic enzymes, arginosuccinate lyase and arginosuccinate synthase, that convert citrulline into the much more qualitative and longer-lasting endogenous arginine. I mentioned earlier how inducible nitric oxide synthase is stimulated by cytokines, primarily tumor necrosis factor alpha. So when inducible nitric oxide synthase is activated for extended time periods, as it would be following injury or even overtraining, this can lead to a depletion of L-Arginine, which further worsens inflammation. While some inflammation is necessary for muscle regeneration, inflammation in acutely damaged muscle is distinguished by a large influx of white blood cells that persist throughout muscle repair, regeneration, and growth. Macrophages are a large part of this, as they remove dead tissue while releasing cytokines like tumor necrosis factor alpha. And this is where citrulline can help, because, again, citrulline can replenish arginine that's depleted by long-term activation of injury-driven inducible nitric oxide synthase. So how much citrulline should you take? For muscle protective results like these, Try around 5 to 10 grams of citrulline every day between meals, or even before and after your workout. Citrulline can reduce blood pressure to some degree, so if you're already taking prescription medications that lower blood pressure, then it's best to just avoid citrulline entirely. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Carter, and I'll see you next time on ENZYMENTAL. Stay healthy.